So similar to the amides, the esters are a combination of an acid group and an alcohol, whereas an amides was the acid group and an amine together. So if we were to show, for example, a carboxylic acid, and I have an alcohol here, condensation reaction would remove the water here, and I'd end up with a C double bond O attached to this oxygen here, and that's what this functionality is. So what we can say then, if we break down the middle here like this is the acid side of the ester, and this is the alcohol side. The acid side is the side that gets the base chain name. No matter how long the length of the alcohol side is, the acid side is always the base chain name for it, always. So let's go through and try to name some. We'll do some examples here. So if we were to split down the middle here, this is the acid side, this is the base chain name. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a butane. And so since it's an ester, we call this butanoate. So this is a butanoate. So starting from the butane base chain name. So butanoate. And on this side we have a methyl group. So I would just call this a methyl. And there's a space here, sorry. This is a space here. In the amide naming, there would be no space here. So if it was an amide functionality, let me just erase this, and I'll draw a similar molecule with an amide. I'll put the methyl on there for fun, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a butane as well. So this would be a butanamide, but it's one continuous name, butanamide. But on the N, we would have a methyl group, so it would be N-methyl butanamide, but there would be no space in that name. For the ester, there is a space here between this naming. All right, continuing on then. So what we've done here is we've now increased the chain length on this side. So we've gone from a methyl to an ethyl, but the butanoate still remains. So this is now an ethyl butanoate with a space. This is a propyl ethanoate, a propyl butanoate. Horrible spelling. Butanoate. And finally, 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. This is the acid side no matter what. So this is a butyl butanoate. So continuing on, we now have an example. Again, this is an acid side here. This is the alcohol side. The 2 carbon chain here is an ethane. So we have an ethanoate, and this is an ethyl. So I'll write down ethyl ethanoate. There's an A in there. Ethyl ethanoate. This is the acid side, a 2 carbon chain again. I've now got a carbon chain longer on the other side, but it doesn't matter. It's still an ethanoate. So the base chain name is still an ethanoate because of the acid side of it. And this becomes a propyl group now out front from the alcohol side. Remember, there's a space here. Similarly now, I've increased the carbon chain on the acid side to a 3 carbon chain, 3 carbon chain. So this is a propyl propanoate. And finally, another example here, 1, 2, 3 carbons. So this is a propanoate, 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons on this side. This is a butyl. So 1, 2, 3. So this is a butyl propanoate. Continuing on, we're going to add some substituents onto either side of the acid side or the alcohol side. So if I recognize, split down the middle here, this is the acid side, this is the alcohol side. 1, 2, 3 carbons. I have a propanoate. And hanging off the propanoate is a methyl group. So in the 2 position, 1, 2 is a methyl group. So I'm going to say that this is a 2-methyl propanoate. And on the other side, 1, 2, 3 carbons. So this is a propyl. I'm just going to write it down here. It's a propyl group. And also in the 1, 2 position is a hydroxy. So it's a 2-hydroxy propyl. And we say hydroxy because the highest priority group is this ester. Everything else gets their prefix name instead of their suffix name. So we're going with 2-hydroxyl 2-methyl propanoate. I am going to rewrite this, hopefully. I'm going to have it nice and neat for you anyway on the screen. So this is a 2-hydroxy propyl. There's a space here. 2-methyl propanoate. I needed all that room to do it. And of course this space here in between. And finally, we look over at this compound on the right here, the final one on the right. This is an example where, again, I've got a couple of extra side groups just for fun. This is the acid side, this is the alcohol side. And we'll notice then that on the acid side we have a chloro group. On the alcohol side we have an amine, and not only that, but we put a methyl group on here for fun as well. So we'll try to start naming this compound. So starting with the acid side, 1, 2, 3 carbons. So this is a propanoate. In the 2 position is a chloro, like that. And then now on the alcohol side, we have a 1, 2 compound here. So this is an ethyl group, but in the 2 position is this methyl, this amino group, but on the nitrogen is a methyl group. So I know that in the 1, 2 position is this methyl amino. So I've got in the 2 position of that, there is a methyl amino, and I can call it an N-methyl. There's nowhere else for it to go. Amino. And I didn't leave room for myself here. So this is it's a 2-N-methylamino ethyl. And then the space here. So let me rewrite this again. I'll just put it up top here. So in the 2 position on that ethyl is an N-methyl amino. I have seen instances where the N is not required here because it's part of this bracket with the amino and nothing else is here. So methyl amino ethyl. And then a space, 2-chloropropanoate. I did not leave myself enough room again. You're going to have to rely on the nice pretty picture that I'm going to put up for you instead.